Using the distance formula. In order to use the distance formula effectively, we have to know what it is, how, why, and when to use it. The distance formula comes from the Pythagorean theorem, and it is used when you're asked to find the distance between 2 points. Remember that the Pythagorean theorem states that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. For your information, distance will always be a positive number. Distance can be 0. Instead of using the distance formula, you can use the Pythagorean theorem. And if the points have the same x values and/or the same y values, you can find the distance just by looking at the graphs or points. For example, you might be asked to find the distance between 2 points in a coordinate plane, or a graph. On number 1, we're being asked to find the distance between the points in the coordinate plane. And we can see that the points are 5, 2 and 5, -4. And just by looking at the graph, I can already see that the point 5, 2 is 6 units above the point 5, -4. But it's not always going to be that easy, so that's why we use the distance formula. So the first thing that we should do is label our x and y values so we know exactly where to plug them into the distance formula. Once we've done that, we go ahead and plug the numbers directly into the formula. And we keep simplifying, keeping order of operations in mind. Notice that we get 6, the same distance that we found by only looking at the graph. On number 2, we need to find the distance between the points in the coordinate plane. And when we find our answer, we have to round to the nearest tenth. Our points are 0, 4 and 4, 5. Since we can't find the distance just by looking at the graph or just by looking at the points, we have to go straight to the distance formula. So after we've labeled our points, what we do is plug the numbers into the distance formula where they fit. Now, at this point, all we have to do is simplify. Don't forget to square the numbers in the parentheses before adding. When we square root 17, we get a really long decimal, but we have to remember that we were asked to round to the nearest tenth. Since 2 is in the hundredths place, we get 4.1 as our final answer. You should be able to try number 3 and number 4 based on what we learned. For number 3, you should have gotten 13 as the distance, and for number 4, you should have gotten 18.9. Here's the work explaining how you should have gotten 13 as your answer. If you got it wrong, you probably made a mistake with the negatives, so make sure to check those over. And for number 4, your work should look something like this. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment with any questions or thoughts. See you next time.